Hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash. Welcome back to my channel and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Wednesday and Bitcoin and Ethereum are having a news driven pump. As you can see right here, we did get our CPI data today, which was bullish for the cryptocurrency and for the stock market also. As you can see, the S&P 500 currently hitting into that second weekly pivot resistance at around 6,062. As you can see, very bullish. We are very close to that all-time high for the stock market. Also very close to that all-time high for Bitcoin, as you can see. But Bitcoin once again did not actually hit that third weekly pivot resistance at around 110k, but basically got rejected twice from here. As you can see, we front ran that weekly pivot resistance a little bit, so Bitcoin did not manage to break that resistance. But as for Ethereum is very bullish right now, breaking out of that range and is currently heading straight to my targets of around $3,000. As you can see right here, our Fibonacci golden pocket, and this level for Ethereum is very key, as you can see, since if we go for example on that weekly time frame and we look at the chart, you can see here that's basically this extension, FIB extension, is pulled from the highs right to the low that we made right here, as you can see. So basically a very key level for Ethereum. We need to continue with this pump right here where we broke out of. As you can see, as I mentioned, we've been raging right now for almost 4 weeks. As you can see here, each candle is 1 week, basically 1 month of consolidation for Ethereum. And as I mentioned in the previous videos, the longer the consolidation continues, the bigger the move to the upside will be. And right now this is exactly what's happening. Ethereum, as you can see, perfectly bounced from that value area low right here, finding support, breaking through that weekly pivot, and right now it has been up only, pumping of around 15%. So basically we need another 15% to reach that Fibonacci golden pocket, that very key level for Ethereum. And this is also my price target for it. Basically we are half the way there. We've pumped for 15% and the pump until there is 30%. So basically we need another 15% of a pump to the upside for it to reach that level. And then basically once we get above, if we manage to get above that very key level and flip it as support, then it can easily go back to around 3,500 or even back to the all-time highs of around $4,000 for it, which we have not seen since a very long time. As you can see right here, the last time that it was at the $4,000 was basically in last year in December. So basically about 6-7 months we have not seen it to that in that price range basically. So it is very possible that it will pump back to that levels. As you can see, very bullish right now, as long as I was mentioning all the way this move right here. I was mentioning as long as the stock market continues to grind to the upside, basically you can see we did keep that trend line right here. We faked out below it, and right now the price is currently creating a newer trend line, as you can see. So basically we are keeping this new trend line to the upside, basically in my opinion, until we reach the all-time highs for the S&P 500 basically. So I'm still very bullish for the S&P 500 and the stock market in general. Also, as long as it continues and as long as Bitcoin does not make some kind of a swing failure pattern right here from these highs, it still did not touch the all-time high perfectly, but right now it is consolidating right here between this weekly pivot resistance and also between the value area high of that bigger range. So for Bitcoin, as I was mentioning, as long as we keep staying in that big range right here, you can see, as long as we do not lose that value area low, which is basically 106k, then it is possible that we make this new all-time highs basically if we enable our monthly pivots. As you can see, 121k is basically a very possible target, since we have it calculated right here on our monthly pivot indicator. As you can see, this indicator, guys. These are not just some simple support and resistance lines. These are very exactly calculated support and resistance lines. So the price here is very possible target. The same goes for the lower target. This is also very possible, but possibly we need some kind of a major consolidation before we can reach this kind of a low. But right now everything is bullish, so the more possible scenario for the markets is to reach that 121 zone, and maybe first we need to test that 114k, basically 115 to 114 is a very key resistance. So in my opinion, maybe we test, then we get some kind of a bigger pullback, very possible, and then we go and create that new all-time high, basically that last monthly pivot resistance, which is very possible that this scenario plays out as long as the markets keep going up, as you can see. So let's turn this off for now, and let's go look at Solana, for example. Right now Solana currently also trying to get back to that value area high of this bigger range, as you can see. Basically after that POC bounce, which also consolidates perfectly with our weekly pivot support, as you can see, we've been having a bounce of around 18%, and we need another 10% basically to reach that value area high, which will be a 30% of a pump if we measure it down from that POC, which is exactly where we got our bounce from. So Solana is for now also looking really good, still has got more potential for an upside, maybe another 10%, and then we find some kind of a resistance right here. Basically the value area high also consolidates perfectly with that last weekly pivot resistance at around $185 for Solana. So basically very strong resistance right here. So we need to see that continuation also for the Bitcoin and for the stock market in order for the altcoins to keep going up. Now, as you can see, the Bitcoin dominance, as I mentioned, is currently dropping, so this is why the altcoins are having a bigger pump. So I perfectly mentioned in the previous video that we need to see something like this, and currently something like this is playing out. As you can see, that's exactly what I drew, and right now our daily candles are closing exactly how we want them, but we need to see some kind of a continuation to the downside, maybe create a new low, basically back to that 61 to 60% for the Bitcoin dominance in order for Ethereum basically to reach that $3,000 target, or maybe even that $3,500 target. Basically that 786 Fibonacci level is also very possible target. So in general I am expecting very high targets for the altcoins if the Bitcoin dominance keeps dropping to the downside, basically. So as long as we lose all of this pivot support right here, then we can possibly get lower price targets for the Bitcoin dominance. And as of right now, the Bitcoin dominance currently losing that monthly pivot. So the next stop, in my opinion, will be 62%, basically that monthly support. So we need to actually hope for this level to get hit. Then the altcoins, if it continues to drop down until they are the Bitcoin dominance, then the altcoins will be completely pumping to the upside, and as you know, the pump will be very big as long as that Bitcoin dominance continues to fall. Exactly as I mentioned before, we need to see still something like this possibly, so a drop to the downside and then continuation, basically. So this will be my outlook for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.